My name is Gonçalo Cordeiro, and I'm here to present the project we did with the VCW framework with the brand Surf Portugal, which is a famous magazine within the surfing industry. We applied the VCW framework, which was developed by Professor Luís Filipe Lages. Before getting inside the framework, there is still what we generally call the background or the phase zero. So let's start with that for you to understand why we did implement this framework to this business. The background is the following. Surf Portugal was founded in the late 80s. Throughout the years, they've had different equity holders, but currently they are in the hands of one of their father founders, which is Ron Valente, the CEO. Currently, and after the economical crisis, the sales have been dropping ever since 2008. In addition, after 2008, the fashion industry related to surfing, the big brands like Billabong and Quicksilver, started having less sales on their lifestyle clothing. Therefore, they started paying less for advertising. And the transformation of the media industry from paper to online also shifted the revenues of Surf Portugal from positive to negative. Therefore, this is the situation we have here. They have had negative profits ever since 2013. So, to try and help them, we decided to make a lifelong project, which would be how can we increase the revenues profitably within the next 5 years for the company. And from this research question, we arrived to a more specific sub-question, which in this case is how can we do it using the current capabilities inside the company and their current business model or something closely related to it. So we enter the second phase, the Induce phase, in which we have to brainstorm filters and solutions. To this end, we can't just get on a table and start brainstorming ourselves. We should get a wide view of what's happening. And so we started interviewing industry stakeholders, not only the CEO, of course, but the president of the Associação Nacional de Surfistas, marketing directors of the Despomar Group, which represents Billabong, big wave riders, João Macedo, and career managers, everything inside the industry, and of course our fellow colleagues and some surfers we met from going to the beach. And after all of this interviewing, we arrived at these 19 solutions. They range from media and to brand awareness. You can have some examples like keep the Hardcover Magazine, which was the only business the company had by the time we arrived. Another solution could be, for instance, have a partnership with surf hostels to try and promote the brand and the magazine. So, after that, we had the filters. And in these filters, we had 17 filters. The filters will be the constraints on the solutions, in case you're wondering. So, as you can see, they range from things like brand fit and brand awareness to scalability of the project and traffic generation inside the web page. There are several things in place here. On the third phase, we enter the Analyse phase. In this phase, it is key to have the CEO on board, the CEO or the board of directors of the company, which we obviously did. And his goal will be to rank the filters, in our case from 1 to 5, being 5 the best possible grade you can give to a filter, and 1 the lowest, the worst. So, in this case, we can actually see that for a business that would resemble the current capabilities of the company, he found it was really important to have brand fit and brand awareness as the main filters for the solutions. And, for instance, scalability and the risk of imitability or easiness of doing this project weren't so regarded as being important. After refining these filters and having the, let me remind you, 19 solutions we had, we enter phase 4, which is the ground phase. In this phase, we create what is called the value creation funnel, or VCF for short. So we grab the 19 solutions we have, and we run them through the filters that have been selected, which, as you can see, are the following 6. We only use the ones that rank between 4 and 5. So by doing so, we ended up with only 2 solutions instead of the aforementioned 19, which are the Hardcover Magazine, creating an Hardcover Magazine, and making improvements on the website, which they already have, but it's lacking structure and it looks amateur. Here you can see more in depth how the value creation funnel here works. So, for instance, the Surf blog was blocked by the filter called brand fit, and that can be very easily understandable. For instance, the CEO doesn't see the magazine, doesn't see the brand as being a blog. A blog is something that fits better an individual, not a brand or a company, so he disregarded that solution as a possible solution for his problems. And as you can see, it has been blocked, and since one of the solutions is blocked one time, it can no longer appear on the VC funnel. And then by doing that to all the 19 solutions, we ended up with only the 2 I've referred. Still on phase 4, and after applying the VC funnel, we arrive at the concept and the prototype. The prototype is the general idea that the solution involves, meaning how will this product, in this case the Hardcover Magazine, how can we define it in brief and short sentences? So we developed that for the company. We stated that it should be a premium magazine with bilingual content, with 4 issues per year, meaning 1 per season, with a price around 15 euros, targeting the core Portuguese market, as well as tourists that might come to Portugal or surfing enthusiasts from anywhere else in the world. Making it bilingual would internationalize the audience and widespread the possible sales. The distribution would be offline in outlets and online, of course, in the website and selected partners by Surf Portugal. Then we defined the prototype for the website improvements, which of course are not as important as the Hardcover Magazine because they will provide a lesser source of revenue than the one before. And in this case, we wanted to focus on user experience, meaning design, making it available for all operating systems, have content beyond that of the magazine. The magazine, just to clarify, you will have content more on the storytelling part of surfing, whereas the website will focus more on things like competitions, main surfers, what's going on within the mainstream industry, so to speak. And that's what we did. And finally, we arrived at the phase 5, the operate phase. In this phase, we are supposed to develop and implement the project if, and only if the board, in this case the board was only our CEO, decides to go ahead with the project, which it did, with both of them. So we developed some financial forecasts for him so that he could better analyze what's at stake when entering these projects. For the Hardcover Magazine, we made projections based on some assumptions of ours, as well as some recovered data from within the industry. For instance, we talked to photographers, to journalists, to designers on how much would it cost to do an issue or do a set of issues. And by doing so, and with some assumptions of ours, which you can see in yellow, we arrived at the final conclusion that the annual gross profit for the company would be 34,500 euros. This, of course, given the degree of uncertainty, we also developed a sensitivity analysis with respect to the price and the retailer's cut. And to this end, here you have the different annual gross profits you can reach depending on the cover price of the magazine and how much the retailer is willing to grab from your share of revenue. Finally, for the website improvements, which, as I've told you, will also be implemented, we wanted the design to be cleaner and ready for all operating systems, something that I've already mentioned. And the content would be on the competitions, of course, and some more content on product reviews, and of course, it will have to promote the Hardcover Magazine online. And finally, the advertising space has to make good use of a new trend in the media market today, which are advertorials. Advertorials, just to give a quick example, are ads inside the news, meaning, for instance, and related to surfing, we could have a surf trip around Portugal, where the car in which we would do that surf trip would be a Mercedes-Benz car. That way we can do both the news and get the revenue in one integrated piece. That was it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.